Hello, this is Myra Elaine on the Buying Space Channel. I'm reading in Psalm 99. The Lord reigns. Let the nations tremble. He sits enthroned between the cherub. Let the earth shake. Great is the Lord in Zion. He is exalted above all nations. Let them praise your great and awesome name. He is holy. The King is mighty. He loves justice. You have established equality. In Jacob, you have done what is just and right. Exalt the Lord our God and worship at his footstool. He is holy. Moses and Aaron were among his priests. Samuel was among those who called on his name. They called on the Lord, and he answered them. He spoke to them from the pillar of the cloud. They kept his statutes and the decrees he gave them. Lord our God, you answered them. You were to Israel a forgiving God, though you punished their misdeeds. Exalt the Lord our God and worship his holy mountain, for the Lord our God is holy. Amen. Do people that punish their children, do they love them? Absolutely. God is our Father. And when we do misdeeds, we are punished because we are his children. So if somebody that you know is Christian, maybe they're doing something that is not visible. Maybe they're having wicked thoughts, or maybe they're not doing right by somebody, or maybe they have something in their past that they haven't dealt with or asked forgiveness for. But don't assume that that's the case, because look at Job. Job was a good man. He had a good heart, yet he went through a great deal. I was in a convenience store the other day. I was in excruciating pain. I told the lady I was in excruciating pain because I wanted her to be efficient with what she was doing with me, so I wouldn't have to stand there any longer. And she told me that I needed to believe in God and trust in God. And you know what? I do believe in God. I do trust in God. But I'm still in physical pain. There are children that die of cancer. And they're innocent and they believe in God. They've prayed to God. Their parents, grandparents, siblings, the whole church has prayed for that child. And everyone has faith in God. Yet the child dies. So if you see someone in pain, don't act like it's their fault. Sometimes there is something going on that is not forgiven, or there's something in somebody's heart that's wrong. Only God knows that. Don't run around and be vengeful in your spirit and say, oh, karma's getting them. You have no idea whether that person is right with God or not. And I don't think anybody has any right to tell somebody if they're in pain, or they had a loved one die, or they're not able to have children, or whatever the case may be, that they're being punished by God, or they don't have enough faith. God doesn't always answer prayers. Sometimes God knows that what we're asking for is not what's good for us. If you're praying for that job in another state, maybe there's a reason you don't belong in that community where that job is. And God is protecting you by not answering that prayer. Or sometimes things have to happen in that community before you would fit into that community. So maybe you might not get that job this year, but you may get it next year. You may get it 10 years from now. You don't know. God has his own timeline and his own purposes. And there is a reason I have pain, but I don't know what it is. And you don't know what it is. And those people down the convenience store have no idea what it is. But it's not because I don't believe in God. And it's not because I don't have faith. Only God knows why I am suffering with pain, or why a child that's perfectly innocent and has all the prayers and faith in the world on their side, why they pass away. Only God knows that. There might be a greater purpose served by that child's death, and there might not. We can't know the mind of God, and we should not judge others based upon what we think the mind of God is. If you say to someone in pain or suffering, or has someone sick, or they can't have children, that it's because they don't have enough faith, you're playing God. And also, I would like to add, that's emotional and mental abuse to guilt someone over their own loss, suffering, and pain. Christians should not be doing that. That makes people want to run away from Christians. It's not your job to judge or guilt anyone. Have a wonderful and blessed day, everyone.